Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the capitalization rule for religious names and texts. So with this one, what you're going to do is that every time you're writing about a religious person, a religious leader, a religious character, you capitalize that. And anytime that you are referencing the title of a text, you capitalize that too. And the thing that ends up being confusing, there are a couple of things that are confusing about this rule, but one of them is that sometimes people think that they're only supposed to capitalize if they personally believe in it. And that's not true. We capitalize for everybody. The other thing that's true is there is one exception to this rule. So you don't capitalize the non-specific use of the word God. If the word God is used, isn't referencing the deity that's referenced as God, then you do not capitalize. But if you're referencing the deity that's referenced as God, then you do capitalize. And I know that's super confusing because we use the word God to reference different things. And sometimes we capitalize and sometimes we don't. When you're referencing that specific deity that's referenced as God, then you do capitalize. Let's take a look at some examples. We studied a Bible verse that talked about saints and another one that explains the Virgin Mary. So here we've got two different references that are capitalized. One is the text Bible. That is capitalized because we're talking about that specific text. The other one is Virgin Mary. Virgin is capitalized because that's part of the title for that person. Okay, so we do capitalize. The next example, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, is believed to have lived 2,500 years ago. So here we're capitalizing two different things. We're capitalizing the name, Siddhartha Gautama, because that's the historical person's name. And then Buddha is the title. So we're going to capitalize that too. Our next example here, oh my God, don't touch that. So we're using the word God here as a slang term of oh my God. So we're not referencing the deity that's called God. Therefore, we don't capitalize. Next example, who would win a battle, the Greek gods or the Norse gods? So here, Greek and Norse are capitalized, but the words gods are not. Let's take a look at some more examples. Get this to really sink in. Thor married Sif, but they didn't have any children together. So Thor and Sif are both Norse deities from that tradition. We do capitalize their names. Do you ever wonder about the connections between Mithra and Jesus? So those are two different people, two different characters from stories from the similar area of the world. And so we're going to capitalize both of them. They're both religious figures. We're going to capitalize both of those. Next example, I thought that we would study more about the gods and goddesses of the world in my mythology class. So here, this one's referencing gods and goddesses in a general term, so we don't capitalize. And our last example, the Torah, is a compelling book. So we're referencing a religious text, we do capitalize there. So on this one, you are going to capitalize names and texts, religious names and texts, and just try to keep in mind that it doesn't matter what you personally believe, we capitalize for everybody. That piece has been confusing for some writers. And then if you use the term God to reference the specific deity called God, then you do capitalize. But if you're using the term God to reference the word generally, as like a classification of being or something like that, then you don't capitalize. I hope that clarifies things. Hope it helps you, and good luck with your writing.